We send greetings and peace from throughout the boundless universe. We are Vast, Dad, and Beth, aka Pi Pittman, mother and father of Indigenous Aesthetics, Mathematics, and Linguistics, Inc. We invite you to join us this shadow hour for new math. This is my beloved I Pittman.
Thank you. We're here to introduce you to some new mathematics. New mathematics is mathematics, as you see at the top of your screen, our screen. And we would like to show you some things about mathematics that we have discovered and invented concerning mathematics. We vow that everybody out there enjoys what we show you tonight. I'm sure it'll be some things you don't know, because it is things that we have received that are divinely inspired from the Most High. In a day and time when it has become kind of what you'll call taboo to mention certain people's names, we would like to honor one of the greatest beings and entities to ever enter this realm, Dr. Malachi Z. York.
Okay.
We have a lot of different things to show you, though. Like I said, first and foremost, starting with starting with what our mathematics means. As you see, and as Bastet has said, we are introducing you all to what we call indigenous aesthetic mathematics and linguistics. It is new mathematics. That's NU mathematics. It is something new to this realm. They say there's nothing new under the sun. I guarantee you, you'll learn something new tonight. This shadow hour. This is our new number line. As you see right here, it starts with -4 on this side, -3, -2, -1, -0. And there's a new number, a pole called new. The name of that number, the identity for this number is new. And then you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the first new thing we would like to introduce you all to. That's one of the first new things we would like to introduce you to, is the number new. Later on, you'll be introduced to a number on 01 or -01. That's a binary number or polarity. But we won't try to teach it all tonight. We just want to talk about Ma'at and the meaning of Ma'at, and a little bit about what you'll be able to get from us for your children, for your family, for your friends. You'll be able to receive from us these number lines and how to use them. So we have new numbers, we have new number lines, we have new solutions, and we're just right here to problems or unsolved problems. And we also have new numbers, new number lines, new solutions to problems, and we'll teach you new orders of operation. And we'll start right there. And so, even if you can't see that, this reads new numbers, new number lines, new solutions to problems, and new orders of operation. And the new order of operation is where we will start first, because the new order of operations is Ma'at. Ma'at here is an acronym for It's an acronym for minus, alienate, add, and times. Once again, that's minus, alienate, add, and times. Now, a lot of us may be familiar with the word minus. So we know this is subtraction. Minus is subtraction. That's the M in my eye. A here is alienate. And alienate is another way of saying to divide. And add is another way of saying addition. And times is another way of saying multiplication. So instead of having the normal PEMDAS, we'll start with that. And we want to be clear that the mathematics that you'll learn here is not or in any way going to take away from the mathematics that your children and yourself already know. It's only going to be an addition to what you already know. Thank you, Maya. Thank you, Buster. Yes, all of it. Yes, let's do it. Like we always do. And so now we have, we'll say we have minus, we have alienate, which is another way of saying division. We have add, and we have time. And so these are the main four orders of operation. And actually this would be an abbreviation. And you could also add an O right here. In fact, 3 O's right here. And that's important because those O's stand for order, of operation. And all of this is very, very important. This is a part of something we call aesthetics in mathematics and linguistics. Everything you see here is aesthetically right. So we want to make sure you understand that and see that this is minus, alienate, add, times, orders of operation. Ma'at, orders of operation. And that's what you're being introduced to this shadow hour. Ma'at, orders of operation. So,
you want to talk about the acronym, my love?
Absolutely. So that's what we'll call the abbreviation of what ma'at means in mathematics. Now, you do have an abbreviation. Sorry about that. You have an abbreviation, and then you do have an acronym. And the acronym for ma'at is my ancient ancestors. You said when you ready,
My ancient ancestors.
Yep. Taught. That's right.
Order.
Or you can finish that by saying taught orders of operation. Just like we said at the top. So, and these are all related to mathematics. This now becomes minus, which is subtraction, ancestors alienate, division. Did I say ancestors? I meant ancient and alienate, division. Ancestors and add is addition. And taught and times is multiplication. And orders is orders, but it also deals with the orders of magnitude. It deals with exponentiation. Whereas in modern, or we'll say contemporary math right now, and current mathematics, mainstream mathematics, they have where it is the order of operations is another way around, which we will get to if you would like. And that order of operations is P, E, M, D, A, S. That's the one that most people are familiar with. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's the acronym for parentheses, and this could be brackets, exponents, and this could be indices. So that could be BI. And then this is multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And that's how they have it. And that's one way of doing mathematics. And that way is correct. That way of doing mathematics. In the current mathematics, this would be correct. However, that is based on this secondary number line. So we will be basing PEMDAS on this number line and this number line alone. This number line here, MA'AT, relates to our primary number line, the first number line. So this number line relates to this acronym and this order of operation. This is the first order of operation, which we are willing to show and prove. So, and this becomes the secondary operation, basically operative and speculative number lines. This is the operative, this is the speculative, and we'll show that later. And we vibe that everybody out there will take time out and order that number line for us, contact us, and see how you can get your own number line up to 1 through 19. Yep. From the number new 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are the negatives, all the way up to 19. And from new 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 19, we'll present you and your family and friends and folks with a new number line. And as we explain these number lines and as we explain this mathematics, you watch the videos and you learn new mathematics. You learn new things that you never knew, things that's never been taught before in any school, in any university. So we would like to state that and let people know that this is going to be something that we are working very hard to seek funding for. We would like a laboratory. We would like a research laboratory and development laboratory. We are working on things like prime numbers, Fibonacci numbers, phi numbers, pi numbers, cryptography, emails, money, measures, anything dealing with mathematics. That's where we are. We have prospects in quantum computing for this. You can already see with the addition of new and on, you not only have new numbers, but you also have new space, if you will, on a computer, to use in a computer, in a binary bit computer or a quantum computer. This is one reason why when you have a 16-bit or 256-bit, whatever amount of bit computer you have, this is one reason why you don't get to use all of the space on those bits. It's because the mathematics is incorrect. So, and we know that there's a lot to show and prove. Don't be afraid that we're giving everything away. This is not for sale. For what would a man gain if he should gain the whole world and lose his own soul? We're not selling you mathematics. We would like for you to fund our research in mathematics and into your livelihood. We have several different things that we could talk about. We talk about the fact that how the limitations in computers and computer applications are calculators and calculational applications. The limits to that software or device, hardware, the limits to those are the limits of human beings in. Human beings inherit those. They are born into the matrix where those inabilities that those computers and calculators have, those computational devices have, you inherit as human beings those shortcomings. However, with new mathematics, we'll be able to introduce a way that we can overcome and complete our math. They have what they call an incompleteness theorem. Well, this is the completeness theorem. They have something called the theory of everything. Well, this is the theory of all. So we would like, and that's quantum. So we would like to present our mathematics and show the world that we are on to something new and that we have something that we can offer not just one person or one people, but all people on an equal and fair basis. And we'll show you flaws in mathematics. We'll have to. If there's something new to introduce to mathematics, obviously there are flaws. Like for instance, if you type into a calculator or a computer, you can't divide with the divisor or the dividend, the denominator, I apologize, the denominator being 0. You can't divide with the denominator being 0. 0 divided by 0, your calculator will read cannot divide, error, and or some other malfunction. But it will not be able to divide by 0. And if you put in any number, you can put in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 divided by 0, there's no answer. 2 divided by 0, there's no answer. 3 divided by 0, there's no answer. So we're talking about new particles that can be presented in physics, the understanding of those new particles, and we know exactly what we have presented to the world. We know exactly what this mathematics is. We know about the Riemann zeta function and the fact that it can't be analytically continued on into the next domain due to functions at one where one becomes a singularity and different things like that. We don't expect for everybody to know this, but what we will show you is in simple terms that all of these problems exist and all of these problems can be solved using new mathematics. Now, I'm going to erase the board. You have anything you want to say, Vincent? Please.
No, I'm just very excited.
Yeah.
Very excited to get this started.
Okay. So,
this is something that children as well as the elderly can learn. It's very easy, very simple, and it's basically always been there. We just have never seen it. New has always been in the center of all numbers and in the center of all things created, because numbers is the way that our physical universe is created. Math is a language. So numbers is beauty, numbers is emotions, numbers is geometry, numbers is everything. Numbers is love, is nature. It is the construct of all nature. So we've always had this number new has always existed, but they failed to see it. We have failed to see it. So they start counting, and they always consider 0 to be nothing. And now we know that 0 is something.
You gotta reprogram.
Yeah, so we have to be reprogrammed. We have to forget the old programming. We can still use this number line. It's been useful for centuries, but right now we're moving into a higher frequency, into a higher dimension. So it's time to learn the new mathematics for that frequency and for the new world, for the future of quantum mechanics, for the future of quantum computing.
Yes, now that we've introduced MAAT and the acronym for MAAT and what it means to us in new math and new mathematics, we would also like to introduce you to the numbers new and on. We said we would present to you new numbers. So this shadow hour, you will learn new numbers. You will learn of two distinct new numbers. In fact, these numbers are the true identities of the number 1 and 0. So for the first time in your life, you'll see the true identity of the real number 1 and the real number 0. We have so many other numbers to introduce to you. But over a period of time, we'll introduce those numbers. Like quarks, like biops, like Z's, and like triops, because it's quarks, triops, which Dr. Malachi York introduced to the world, biops and Z's. So with these particles, drink some water. These particles are beyond subatomic particles. They what you'll call gravitons, or the proposed or the hypothetical tachyons and gluons. These numbers relate to those particles in every way. And we have to say that because there will not be a physical, rigorous showing of why these numbers exist and why they are here. But in order to gain the proof and the formula, you have to know a lot more about new mathematics. There is things where you'll be able to do things like work with factorials, let's say. You may not even be familiar with a factorial. But a factorial, let's say, is simply the number 4, since that's our number. We love quantum, we love 4. So then we'll say 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 would be a factorial. So you would say 4 times 3 is 12, times 2 is 24, times 1 is 24. So then you'll stop right there. And then you'll say 4 factorial is 24. So that's what a factorial looks like. So in order to continue factorials, let's say we get down to 3, we get down to 2. My 2's are ugly, y'all. Let me do that again. You get down to 2, you get down to 1, and you stop right there. There's a gate right here that their mathematics can't go beyond this. When you get to things like this, like 0 here, 0 factorial, and beyond 1 factorial. This is what new mathematics will allow you to do. It'll allow you to analytically continue beyond the ordinary domain into the complex domain and into other domains and dimensions that we'll discuss, that you'll find out truly exist, not only in the world of mathematics, but in the world we live in. So we'll get back to it, and you can talk with me, Bastet, if you like. I'm serious. I won't feel offended if you interrupt me or you add in. That'll be great.
No, you just explained it so well.
Okay. So you have 0 divided by 0. We've already said this is the number nu. And you have any number divided by 0. We've already said is the number 0 n. 0 n. And I need to do a little bit better with my zeros. Let's do them a little bit elongated like they probably should be. They probably look more like circles. So let's do them a little bit more elongated. But so,
okay.
Yeah, a napkin. A dry napkin.
Here, my beloved.
Okay. Yeah, so we need a there, and then we'll do this one a little bit there. Just doing that. So now, with 0 divided by 0 equals nu. So we'll write nu right here, because that's what that number is, nu. And then any number divided by 0 equals un. U, n, un. And this number nu is not defined, and this number un is undefined. both of these numbers are undefined by your calculator and by your computer, they cannot perform these mathematical feats. So now, one would ask, how do you get something from nothing? Well, the first thing that you have to understand is that nothing is not a number, nothing is a concept. So when we say zero, we are discussing the number zero and not the concept of nothing. So 0 divided by 0, which is something. Now we move into this. N. Any number n divided by n equals 1. But remember I told you, or we told you, that this number 1's true identity is here in nu. So all of these from here on down, n divided by n would always be 1. And this number 1 is equal to nu, and nu is equal to 1. But nu is not the number 1, because you can clearly see on this number line, on a nu number line, the primary number line, that you have nu here in the center acting as a singularity or a pole, and you have 0, and then you have the number 1. So this is the number 1. This is a nu identity, and this is -0, and this is -1. Still, nu is a nu identity. So this number nu is neither the number 1, nor is it -1. It is 1 square. It is 1 square. This is a square number. The number 1 does not have a square. The number 1 does not have an identity. It only has a 1 times 1 equals 1. But the square will show, because we have, what did you tell me today? It was your idea. Let me tell you, okay, and I saw that post today. I used to have the order M, D, A, M. I'm digressing for a moment here. We got all the time we need. I used to have the order, and that was before I met my aunt. And she helped me for years. I thought it was no. Mommy, daddy, and me. That's what I had. Mommy, daddy, and me.
So that would be multiplication. But
no, minus, division, addition, and multiplication. That was one way we originally had it. I originally had it that way when I was by myself. And then I met my aunt, and she showed me the word alienate, that it too was another word for division. So we changed this D to an A, division to alienate. And we came up with the word ma'at. And we really like that, because this is Egyptian teaching. This is Egyptian mathematics. This is African mathematics. This is African sciences. This is Native American sciences and mathematics. That's what this is. This is all about our people, all about Egypt. So now, when we look at this, let me erase this now. And so I was also going to say that when you look at this, you see 0 divided by 0 equals nu. You see any number divided by itself and equals 1. And nu is equal to 1, but nu is not 1. They equal, but not the same. They are equivalent, but not the same. And then over here, you have n divided by 0 equals un. Any number divided by 0 will equal un. Well, you say, well, how can you do that? Then we say, well, it's a little bit more complicated, a little bit more fancy, but let us show you. if we have the number, let's say 10, divided by 2, then the answer will equal 5. 10 divided by 2 will equal 5. That's easy to check because we just multiply 2 times 5, and we could say 5 times 2 will equal 10. We'll do it that way. 5 times 2 equals 10. I know. I know. I'll show you later. So 5 times 2 equals 10. And so if we were to do just one more, let's say 8 divided by 4. 8 divided by 4 will equal 2. So 2 times 4 will equal 8. We could check that. That's easy. But when we get to the point where we say, what's 6 divided by 0 equal, then we run into a slight problem, because anything multiplied times 0, when we check that, would have to equal 0 up here. So how do we come up with a number that goes right here that we can multiply times 0? That we can multiply times 0 and still get 6. That number is 0, 6. It's the same as 0n. It's the same as 5. It's the same as 2. But this is a binary number. Nu is a singularity, and this on is a dipolarity. It's a binary number, but it's also a dipole, meaning nu has a singular pole, singularity, the pole, and then on, 0 nu, or 0 1, or 0 2, or 0 3, or 0 4, which we pronounce 4 on, 3 on, 2 on, 1 on. You see? And AHMIS and nu on. Those would also be new numbers that we have to introduce. So we have a lot of new numbers and a lot of new things to introduce. So n divided by 0 equals on. So when we say 6 divided by 0, we have created and invented and discovered a new number, 6 on. So this number is 6 on. 6 divided by 0 equals 6 on. And it's said in reverse because when we go in reverse, because you have you have division and you have multiplication. So the inverse of division is multiplication. The inverse, I-N-V-E-R-S-E, the inverse of division is multiplication. So in order to check that, we do the reverse. We do the reverse in multiplication. We just divide it. 6 divided by 0 equals 6 on. So that's the division. So we're going to do an inverse but reverse to check. 6 on times 0 equals 6, because these zeros multiplied equals 0. And this 6 is carried around here to here. And it starts to look like a person. It starts to look like a smiley face. And then you can go ahead and check that too. So you can check all that math. So that's an ancient face. That's an ancient mask, if you will. That's a very ancient and sacred person that you look at, whether you know it or not. That's an ancient smiling face. And a lot of times he has his tongue out A lot of times he has his tongue out, and a lot of y'all will identify with him. He in the center of all of the sacred calendars, from old Mesoamerica all the way to Africa. You'll identify with him. A lot of y'all know who he is. A lot of y'all know who he is. And a lot of y'all won't.
You only get that smiley face if you do it correct.
That's right.
They're still alive.
So when we look around, we see that we have just introduced 2 new numbers. And let us prove this one too, though. Let us prove this one the same way we proved that. Let us prove that if I take 0 divided by 0 equals new. Let's see if we have any problems with checking that. New times 0 will equal 0. New times 0, 0 divided by 0 equals new. 0 divided by 0 equals new. And new times 0 equals 0. So it checks out. And that's our reverse. And when we do the inverse, like I said, we come up with things like that. So this is mathematics. This is indigenous aesthetic mathematics and linguistics. These are the types of mathematics and maths that we would like to introduce to you, our community. We would like for you to know that there is something else out there. There is more than meets the eye. That there is the mathematics of the pyramids here. This is the science of the pyramids. This is the science of your calendar. This is why we know the formula for circle in the square and square in the circle. This is why we know a pattern for pi. This is how we know a pattern for prime numbers, for the production of prime numbers, for the position of prime numbers, for the prediction of prime numbers, for the patternization of prime numbers. This is how we know, because we have mastered indigenous aesthetic mathematics and linguistics. And now we want our people, by our own auspices, to help us, support us in bringing indigenous aesthetic mathematics and linguistics to the world. Mathematics is a language, and we would like to introduce that to the world. So this is what we would like to introduce to the world. And so this is new numbers. We promise you new numbers. We promise you new number lines. We promised you new solutions to unsolved problems. We promise you a new order of operations, MA'ATIX. You have just learned the very foundations of MA'ATIX, order of operations. You now hold in your hands the keys to all of mathematics. This is equivalent to having IMHOTEP or IMHOTEP or any other great ones that wrote the IMHOTEP papyrus and all the papyrus that TEHUTI wrote. This is equivalent to having that type of thing in your hand in a language now that you can speak. This is mathematics medunetra. This is the medunetra of mathematics being presented in, if you will, the Nubian tongue here in America. So this is Egypt of the West, New Babylon. And we are here to present something that can help the world, not only one person. This pertains to all counting, calculators, all calendars, clocks, circles, cycles, cylinders, cash, counting devices, coins, anything that pertains to mathematics, measures, matrices, metrics, like we said, emails, money. It pertains to anything that pertains to mathematics. This concerns it. And this concerns your very soul. It concerns your understanding of who the Most High is. It concerns your understanding of infinities, what infinity is, what divergences are in polarity, what convergences are, where do numbers go. You are going to learn from us the secrets and the hidden mysteries of mathematics, because we know that we have always been a great people. We have never been a secretive or a low down or greedy or niggardly people. We have never been stingy. We have always offered the world every science, every liberal art, every STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, every space, time, energy, and matter, everything concerning anything we have offered to the world, free our value. And we have been given disrespect, the lack of respect, all across the globe. But we are here, myself and BLACK.MAGNETICS, we are here to present to the world that we do have intelligence. Indeed, we have superior intelligence. And our intelligence as Nubian people cannot and will not and should not and could not ever be suppressed. We are here to present our mathematics. So if you've never seen anything new in your life, you are looking at new mathematics. You are looking at a new science. You are looking at a new way of life, a new paradigm. This is a new paradigm. I listened to a brother say the other day on one talk show, he mentioned a number being divided by 0. And I kind of smiled and laughed because I realized people waking up. And he related that number to God, or what people call God, the deity. And he was saying that that number is undefined and indeterminate. And you'll see that. You'll see that that number, to divide by 0, you can't divide by 0. Your calculator tell you that. You can look up, you can't divide by 0 on YouTube. YouTube will tell you that. You can look it up on Wikipedia or Leaks. It'll tell you that. Wolfram, you can look it up anywhere. Wolfram Alpha, anywhere you want. You can go to any other big time math sites, Number File, Science Channel, wherever you want. You can go anywhere in the world and you won't find the answers to these questions and these problems, the solution.
It's considered a number, someone asked.
0 is definitely considered a number. 0 is not nothing. Nothing is a concept. 0 is something that you use. And we'll get into that when we get into what factorials are. But when you ask me is 0 as a number, I have to be completely honest with you. I will have to show you the formula and the technique and the method for actually using 0 in that manner. I can show you different ways in which you can use 0 right now in numbers. However, I wouldn't be willing to show you the formula or the proof to that. So, however, please talk for me, Matt. I'm going to try to
checking out the comments. Okay. See if we can answer any questions. Yeah. Anybody got any questions that we love to answer? Anybody got any questions? We're here to answer any and all questions on this mathematics. We have so much to show y'all. This is just the beginning.
And freestyling.
Yes, we just freestyling. This is the tip of the iceberg. We've been working on this mathematics. I have been working on this math for 27 years. And we are now ready to show this to the world. This is going to be awesome. It's going to help us build quantum computers. It's going to help us with the new way of thinking, the way the ancient ones did. Yes. And let me see if we have any questions.
Okay.
Any questions, anybody? No? No questions?
Okay. What they asked was, is 0
oh, it's
really
0.
a number?
Yes, somebody asked, is 0 a number?
So let me show that. So 0 is really a number because of the simple fact that if you look here, you see the number 0. You can literally see, well, I guess you can't unless we put it where you can.
Right there?
Yes.
No,
Okay.
yes. Y'all can see that? Yeah, they can see it.
Okay. So now 0 is a number because when you look at the number 0, you'll see that it's under this number new. When you look at the number 1, -1, you'll see a -0 above this -1. So now what we're going to show here is that, and I'm going to have to write it because I don't want to write on my wall, -4, -3, -2.
We could buy an actual board
-2.
Your donation, actually. So we
-1.
encourage donations. You're just getting this off the ground.
Yeah.
You definitely need
-0.
your donation.
New 0, 1. Okay, so now that's a short pattern, but and I don't like it. I don't like that. I wrote that too big. Let me do this. Let me start. That's not good. I got it. Okay. Now let me do this again. Let me do this a little bit different. I'll try to do it from here. I'm gonna show you something from here about the number 0. When I write, if I was to draw a line from 4 to 2, will we all agree that this is an even number? That from -4 to -2 is even. And so then if I do another line from skipping every odd digit, then I would get to a point called 0. So you know that 0 is a number because 0 is the same distance from the number -1 that -2 is from -1. And 0 is the same distance from -1 that -3 is from -2. And 0 is the same distance from -1 that -4 is from -3. On into what you'll call infinity. That would be the facts. So 0 is a number equal distant from the number +1 as in relationship to +2 to +1. The same relationship exists, a 1-to-1 relationship. So 0 is 1. 0 is 1. See, it's a 1-to-1 relationship. So 0 is 1. So now, if we were to move from 0 to 2 over to +4, now we see that we have 4, 2, 0, 2, 4. That's aesthetically correct. But something happens if we do the same thing with odd numbers that you may have never noticed. When we go from odd numbers, we have 3, -3 to -1. Then we have -1 to +1. But this presents a problem. This is one of the problems in mathematics that I told you about as far as the Riemann hypothesis. This is the problem. If you look right here, you'll see the problem. This is the issue. The issue is that when we go from the number -3 to -1, which is the odd number, we do not have a 0 point here. We go directly over to +1. And so from this point, there is a problem. Not even all the way to 0. At this point of being at -1, and at this point of 1, going the other way is another problem. Because you have to skip 0 here. Because in your odd numbers, if we went 5, we'll go to 3, and then, and then we'll go to 1. We'll come from 5 over to 3 over to 1. And so what this does is this shows us that this is odd 3, this is odd 1, but we have to skip over 0. So we go 3, 1, -1, -3. So where is the point for an odd number? That point is none other than nu. Because if I did the same thing with nu, I would be here. It would be nu. It would be 0. It would be 1. It would be 2. And it would be 3. And it would be the same thing this way. It would be -0, -1, -2, and -3. And so here, if we went from the odd numbers negative, we would actually be saying 3, 1, nu, 1, 3. And with the even numbers, we would be able to say 2 over to 0, 0 over to 0, 0 over to -2. And we don't miss a beat. We have 0, 0, which are even numbers, and these numbers are even numbers, and we have all of our odd numbers covered. So with that being said, you have yourself a brand new mathematics. You have yourself a brand new series of numbers, a brand new algorithm, a brand new way of looking at mathematics, using mathematics, doing geometry, doing trigonometry, doing calculus, doing computational mathematics, applied mathematics, pure mathematics, analytic mathematics, whatever type of mathematics is presented to you, you have the prime advantage of learning and mastering that mathematics by learning this new math and this new number line, mathematics. That's what we present to you. Your understanding of quantum physics, quantum sciences, quantum mechanics, quantum physics, quantum computing, and now quantum processing, tetrahedral thinking. Because once you have quantum computers, you need quantum processors. That's a way for those computers to process information. And that's what's missing, y'all, is the ability to process on a quantum level. This gives us the ability to process and build a quantum computer. So I have to come out and show my invention of a quantum computer in order for my people to know that I have invented a quantum computer. So I have invented cryptography that will change the world of trade, banking, emails, messages, money, measures. We have that information, and we would like to share that information with the world, but we would also like to be compensated so we can help our people to better understand what we have to teach, to further develop what we've already developed. So we don't want to be stuck out there, and we are a non-profit organization and we are a corporate organization, IAML. We have completely filed everything for the corporation, but we do have some more work with the nonprofit.
With the nonprofit, yeah.
Absolutely. So that's exactly what we're doing here. We have all of this to offer and more. So is there anything you would like to say past that?
No, you explained it so well. I'm so pleased with
Please help me out, yeah.
Yes, it's done. We have a lot more.
Are there any more questions? Or anything?
A question. Somebody says this is divination. It's divine. Yes, it is. Yep. It says, I want to share my information of my quantum computer with you. So somebody has, her name is Yebel. Hi, Yebel. We would love
to hear from
that information. Yes,
I'd love to hear from But right now,
many people who get it.
Yeah, right now, like we said, we ourselves are in the process of working on trying to get ourselves off the ground, to get a laboratory, to get funding, to get the production of. I was going to also tell them, not only did you invent the alienation, but what idea did you come up with yesterday?
Oh, the production of a ruler.
Of a ruler. We would like to have a ruler made, produced. We would like to have a number line made and produced. We would like to have
an application.
Application for computers made, an app.
Yes, absolutely. And we would love to add our new numbers into the calculator.
And have that licensed and published. We have things that we would like to procure with different schools, the education system. We need help with that.
We've also wrote a book. And It's almost finished.
It's almost finished.
So we need help in publishing that.
It's a math book. We've almost finished the math book. It talks a lot about quantum. It gets into detail.
Yeah.
The book is a math book, but the introduction alone
has a lot of information.
Yeah, it'll blow you away. It's all about quantum physics, quantum mechanics, quantum computing, and quantum processing, which will lead to new STEM, new sciences, new technology, new engineering, and of course, new mathematics. So we have the sciences, we have the technology, we have the engineering, but we need new mathematics. We have the physics, we have the mechanics, we have the computing, but we need processors. So the mathematics is equivalent to processors. So just as everything else is aesthetic, so we don't seem like we're talking fast and all that, let's give a presentation of that. Let's show that STEM, right?
Yes.
STEM is science, right? Science and technology, tech. You always run the risk of misspelling something. So when you're doing something like this, and this is our first time ever going live on anything like this right here. Science, technology, engineering, and also mathematics, right? Mathematics. So we have science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And then this also translates to space, originally, time, energy, and matter. That too is aesthetics. This shows you that science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are space, time, energy, and matter are one and the same state. So when you're studying this, 1, 2, 3, 4 quantum, you're studying this, 1, 2, 3, 4 quantum. So this is something that you should know about aesthetic mathematics and linguistics. This is the linguistics and aesthetics of our mathematics. And so we mentioned what? Space and STEM. Okay, so yeah, that's basically some of what we want to present as far as that's concerned. Let's do this way. So yeah, so we have so we have space, time, energy, matter, and we have science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So this basically gave birth to that. And so now you have quantum, but you have in STEM, this is what's missing. The mathematics is missing from STEM. That's what's missing from STEM. New mathematics is missing from STEM. And I think the other point that we wanted to make was that STEM, mathematics, quantum. We have quantum physics. That's what I want to point out. We have quantum physics. We have quantum mechanics. We even have quantum computing now, or computers, computers. And now we need quantum processing. So these processes are what's missing from quantum. So what new mathematics is the link from here to here. It gives you these two, which is the completion of the mathematics and the completion of the computer. That's what quantum, what we call new TETRA.META.QUANTA.MATHS is. So with all that being said, I think we'll join you next time on our mathematics presentation. We'll be doing a lot more of these, more than likely, if people show that they are of interest and would like to see more of this. We'll be happy to show more of this if we get support we need in order to move forward and to have time to do presentations like this. Because like I said, we're here in New York and we are doing our best here in New York in order to make this happen. We've already signed up with the Board of Education in New York.
Yeah.
We're a registered corporation here in New York. We're registered vendors with the Board of Education. We've done in Bradstreet. We got all of our paperwork together. We have our business licenses. We have all of our things. We've invested a lot of time, energy, our own money. We're the founders and funders of IAML. And we need help in order to present what we have, in order to turn what we have, even as mathematics, into real products, into physical things that you can hold, like we said, like the app that we would like to put inside of devices, and those devices being the things that you hold, those applications being the software that you hold and that you use, and that corrects the errors. Because that's another thing. When you talk about mathematics and you talk about indigenous aesthetic mathematics, when you talk about fixing the computer, you're talking about correction. That's called error correction. Error correction. And this is one of the reasons why your computer can't divide by zero, but it's called error correction. And then after error correction, there's limit expansion. There's limit expansion. And so when you have error correction and limit expansion, which is what my mathematics does, my mathematics allows for error correction. My mathematics allows for limit expansion. That's what my mathematics. If you hear me say my mathematics or new mathematics, it's one and the same. It's a new math or my math, either one. But these mathematics offer error correction and limit expansion. Error correction insofar as your computer cannot divide by zero, zero divided by zero, nor any number divided by zero. Both of those will equal error. Error. So you can't do this. But with the new answers, 0 divided by 0 equals new, and any number divided by 0 equals 0 in or on, then you no longer have an error. You have correction. Correction. And with those programmed into your computer, you not only correct the error, but you expand the limitation. Now, the limitations were that you could not divide by 0, and now you can. So that's a limit expansion, which takes you over into, like I said, a new mathematics and a whole domain of dimensions, from starting with the fourth dimension of mathematics we'll be discussing. Not just linear mathematics or circular mathematics, but what you'll call global or interdimensional mathematics that overcome space and time, dealing with things like that, dealing with zero gravity particles or zero mass particles or negative zero mass particles or positive zero mass particles or new mass particles. What is that? How do you calculate those? How do you measure those? Have we thought about that at CERN? No, because your calculator cannot divide by zero and no number by zero. Then in CERN, they're working with a limited amount of information. It's a problem called a Riemann zeta function. You should look into that problem and you'll see some of the mathematics and how we have been able to prove that function and solve that problem. When zeta equals zero, or as the problem is stated, as they put it, the problem is stated. Thank you, my thank you, my love. So it's So it's zeta. That's the symbol for zeta, y'all. That's how I write it. It's zeta. Zeta, let's say it this way. Zeta of S. And the reason why I hesitate is because it's a formula for this, okay? So zeta of S. So now, zeta of S. So they want to know, what does S, when S equals 0, when zeta of S, when S equals 0, what exactly does zeta equal? And so this is an impossibility if you can't count past the number 1. If you can't do mathematics past the number 1. If your mathematics is stranded and limited to just between 1 and 0, but you can't go past here, then you cannot have an answer for this. So they can't arrive at an answer for what S equals 0. But I'm saying with this right here, this is the answer. When S equals 0, zeta will equal nu. And this is how mathematics is done. So there's a rigorous proof that we have that we can present at any time. We have done our best. We have done our best, Bastet and myself best, to get this information into people's hands. There is mathematical prizes that they have, which we're not concerned with. We were concerned with passing the information along and getting the recognition, because it appears, and it is true, that our people definitely, can I sit with you? Our people definitely need what you call them, my love? What you call it? They need to see other proof and other people actually interested in what we do. Exactly. They need to see other people see it, because it's so new. The mathematics itself is so new that people just need some type of proof. So I put out the newspaper of being in the Navajo Times and how they talked about the mathematics. I apologize for that, y'all. Let me drink some water. I never do that. I apologize. But yeah. So yeah, so but you know, the camera makes you self-conscious. So the light on my face and everything just messing with me. But the way it went was that, you know, the superintendent, the principal, everybody came out. We did a presentation at that time, and everything went great. We were at a school called Indian Wells. We went to several schools. We did several presentations at schools. We had a wonderful review. People loved it. The principal, the superintendent said that he would, you know, consider it something that would be taught as an after-school thing and in gifted program. But at that time, we wasn't able to present to them our curriculum, and we didn't really feel like it was necessary. We wanted to present to them some mathematics. We wasn't trying to present a curriculum to them. But this shadow hour, this is the presentation of a curriculum. This is the presentation of new academia, new curriculum. This is the presentation of that we have our own textbooks. We need a laboratory. We need a place where we can manufacture our own mathematics textbooks. And then once we produce these textbooks, we then sell these textbooks, and then we earn money in order to produce even more products. That's what we're here to do. We want to produce more and more mathematics products in order to preserve indigenous aesthetic mathematics and linguistics as a language. If you don't preserve your knowledge, if you don't write it down, you and it will be forgotten. So anybody telling you anything other than we need to preserve our mathematics, you see how lost we have been without it? You see how far we have fell behind all other people, not having, not remembering, not being reminded of our true sciences, our true mathematics? We will know the truth. And the truth will level the playing field. It will not set you free. The truth will make you free. Free thinking and free will. New represents that. New represents new will. It represents that which is between what you call 360. It represents the center of all things. A new life, a new way of thinking, a new mathematics. Like I said, new compass, a new circle. It's no longer the same. We want to add that in addition to, not tear down the mainstream mainframe of mathematics. Everything that you do in current mathematics is the same with new mathematics. It's just a continuation of your mathematics. It's just from one plane or one dimension into the next. It's just learning something that's been hidden and unseen for a long time. And now it's being revealed. And it's being revealed because it's time that our people have information that's worthy of their mind. Because we could never prosper on a non-indigenous, a non-native, a non-autochthonous, or a non-endemic type of curriculum in academia. And now that we have our own, and we know it's something great for the world, we can claim it as our own and we can share it with the world. We can take pride in it. We can claim it as our own and we can share it with the world. We don't have to be stingy. We can claim it as our own and we can share it with the world. And we can build it on our own. We don't have to go in. We're working on grant writers. We're working on loans and going to the NSF.
Yes, if you write a grant, you sign a contract a grant writer.
And I don't want to do it. What I want to do is have our people support our idea and our mathematics enough in order for us to produce the type of mathematics that somebody of the caliber of the Egyptian IAMS or the Egyptian IMHOTEP or the Egyptian TEHUTI would have manifested in their day and time, to show and prove that we have the ability under our own auspices to make something like that happen. We don't have to reach out to other people. When we see a good thing, we can support a good thing. When we know the truth, we can support the truth. Regardless to what you hear about a brother, a sister, what you hear, what you see, how you see it, how you think it, look at the facts and the truth of what's being presented right here. That's all I'm saying. Don't look at me. Look at that. Don't look at us. Look at that. Look at what's being overlooked while you're looking at me. Because we can be getting down to business and actually earning a life here in America and abroad by what we'll call mass producing and exporting our intelligence, mind over matter, We export intelligence. We would like to build goods. We doing a service. This is a community service. PSA, public service announcement. This is a community service. We are a non-profit organization. We are a tax-exempt organization. So we would like to be a non-government organization. We would like to be under the auspices of the people and for the people, something that the people build, something that we build from scratch, the mathematics textbooks, the linguistics textbooks, the aesthetic textbooks, the indigenous textbooks, all of the textbooks that we have to present, all of the information that we have to preserve. Our initiatives are education, economics, environment, and economic employment effects. And yep, we have 9 cares.
9 cares, yeah.
I'll try to name them. We care for mothers,
the
elderly, children, disadvantaged, orphans, impoverished, imprisoned,
yep.
Insane or sick, miseducated. Yeah.
We have one more.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah, one more thing.
We'll think
Yeah. So, but we have all of that. We have all of those things that we care about. All of those people we care and we love. So within our community, we have not been able to find a platform for what we're talking about. So we decided to bring forth our platform to you and say, look, our platform is very, very humble.
Yeah.
We have a humble abode and a humble platform. We would like to have a more visually and visible aesthetic platform. We cannot rock our table because our computer might shut down.
That's right.
We cannot rock our lamp because our lighting will fail. We have to set up our board flat against our wall because we ingest that a flat. But given the opportunity, the same way we came up with new mathematics, I guarantee you, given the opportunity and the right support and the right funding, we'll bring to the public a school building with all of the necessary things. I've done all the research. I've done every study. I know everything I need to know about business and everything I need to know about finding a building, everything I need to know. All I need is the help and support of my people and funding, and for them to come out and to support the venues that I present. If I present something in Union Square and call it Math on the Square here in New York, on what street that is? 14th Street,
Union Square.
14th Street, Union Square. We have a day out there. Then all of our people are supposed to show up in droves so that we can make this happen. We're not asking our people not to be the only ones that fund it. It's for the world. So then we present it to the world. So we're at the world at Union Square. We're in the world at Times Square. Listen to those words. We're talking about numbers, squares, numbers. We're talking about new is a square number. It's the first square number. It's the 1. So we're in Union Square. We're at Times Square. What's the other square? Washington Square.
Washington
yeah,
Square.
That's right. So
Columbus Circle.
Yeah, Columbus Circle.
It's also a square.
Also a square. So that's right. Teach. Yeah. So preach. So we would like to go to all of those places and present mathematics. We would like to set up venues there so you can come and see this live and see what mathematics is really all about and what you can learn in a single setting of just talking to us about mathematics. And the questions that your family and children may have about mathematics in school and in curriculum can be answered at those venues. Although I do warn you that some of the answers that you may receive may be answers beyond what's in mathematics if you asking those type of questions. But if you asking from the number 1 on into infinity, the other way, diverging away from 0, then every answer you need in mathematics is presented in this number line right here. It's no different than what they call the rhyme papyrus written by the Egyptian IAMS, where he makes the statement that this is all you need to know about mathematics. This is going to be all you need to know about mathematics. And of course, you're going to learn different things about topology, about new mathematics, gravitational mathematics, circular mathematics, linear mathematics. We have all different styles and kinds of mathematics that we have to present. We have, I mean, it's a beautiful day and time. It's a great day and time. The Natiru are real. The Nephers are real. Our incarnations are real. Our energies are real. Who we are real. Who we've been mistaken for is not real. That's the problem here. And I'm not going to get into a historical thing. I'm going to do another channel on history because we deal with linguistics. And we have to do it. We have to get into it because they have made mathematics and different things like that, the sciences, the liberal arts. Certain people have made those things into racist venues. Straight up. And that's why things are happening in the way they are. That's why you see me here today. And those things have to be addressed. They cannot be overlooked. It's another me out there. And I have to speak up on behalf of the other me out there. And it's another BLACK.MAGNETICS out there. And I have to speak up on the behalf of all the BLACKs and mothers, MA'ATIX. I have to speak up on behalf of all the great fathers that's trying to do great things. I have to speak up on behalf of all the children, the born and unborn, and the elderly that still have it in them to present things that can't be presented because the forum isn't correct, because it seems like the situation ain't right. The paradigm ain't painted right. No, the time is now. And we now have the opportunity to unite using a real scientific formula. Black mathematics, magnetics, our own sciences and alchemy will be the thing that free us. Not religion, not science. No, I said alchemy. I said our alchemy. Not science. Science is theory. Science is theoreticism. Religion is theology. Religion is theologians. So what we would like to present is the truth, the facts, not theory, proof, truth. They say it's a paradox. And the guy's name is Kurt Godel. And he says, that's right, he says that that there's a space between truth and proof. And I say, yes, there is truth and proof. The word is and, that's between truth and proof. And that's all between truth and proof, unless you say truth equal proof, and then equal would be between truth and proof. Otherwise, truth equals proof. Okay? And just like we showed that new can equal one, but they equal but not the same. So truth and proof are equal but not the same. So through new mathematics, you realize things like that. You come to realizations like that. You solve paradoxes, the liar's paradox. Things like that become clear in your head and in your mind. And that's what we're here to wake you up to. Those were small sciences to you. Those were your baby steps in sciences. Do you realize what we're talking about? You realize where we are. You realize where we started from. Let me show you again. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. I am the first and the last. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am the Ayin and the Yod. You see that? This is what this is talking about. We are here at the beginning. We are here at the beginning with new and zero new and on. New and on. We are here at the origin of mathematics. And we're not just branching out this way, or just branching out this way, or just branching out this way and that way, and out this way into 3 dimensions, and out that way in the magnetic pole. No, we're branching out beyond this time, this space, this energy, this matter. We have new information that relates to things like go versus no go, P versus NP. We would like to be a part of the mathematical paradigm, if you will, and the paradigm shift to that in solving and having solutions to those problems. Concerning prime numbers, we have, and what we're doing here, this is our copyright. The internet is the day's way of recording and having a way of showing that you were here first. It's like staking a flag on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
It's just saying that
this is our proof.
This is our proof. We already know what we have here. You can't run ahead of us and say now, oh, I just saw pentaquarks, or something that I have now on the internet, or I have now sexaquarks, or something like that, or I now know about twin primes and sexy primes, you know, different types of prime numbers, octoprimes. Those are conjectures. Those types of numbers, whether you know it or not, are called prime number conjectures, and they come by the thousands. I promise you. It's so many conjectures and hypotheses surrounding the Riemann hypothesis with this math and the Riemann zeta function. With this math right here, there are so many things that are already solved by having us to this. This solves about 500 mathematical problems that already exist alone tonight, just right here, just by saying this. I promise you. We have patterns for prime numbers. Let me show you one important. Prime numbers are used to encrypt banking, cryptography, encrypt emails, to send messages and money. So this is and to measure things. So prime numbers are very valuable numbers. And so people like RSA, Diffie-Hellman, these people like that, they are aware of what I'm talking about. And they use prime numbers in a way that they use along with binary numbers, ASCII, where they able to encode computers. Well, I would like to introduce another paradox or a parable. Mm-hmm. And it goes as thus. They once said, can God create a rock that God can't lift? And I'll say, can a God create a rock that a God can't lift? I say yes, absolutely. And I will show and prove to you that rock that God can create, that God cannot lift. And that God they're talking about is, they sometimes refer to him as MATATRUN. But MATATRUN can lift the rock, but I'm going to show you the gods that can't lift the rock. Okay, so you have this being, and these other beings, and they create a rock, this big rock, but they can't lift the rock. So what could this rock be? I want to show you what this rock is. This rock is, first of all, those limitations and those error corrections and those limit expansions. That's what they are. The errors and limitations that you have. So now the rock is the big rock that humanity has created, that humanity can't lift, is that humanity has taken the number 0 and 1 binary, and they have encoded it into a computer using prime numbers, prime factorization. And so we'll just say, we'll start with the primes 2, 3, 5, 7, you know, and so on. So we like 4. So we'll say, so they're using this, primes and binary. Now, the rock that humanity can't lift is that humanity has created this binary and primary system Let's change that to primary anyway. This binary and primary, primes and binary system. But humans created it, but humans can't figure it out. Humans cannot, or computers or human technology cannot divide by 0. So that's a rock. This part of this rock, 0 and 1 binary, that's the number on. And these numbers primes, they really start with the number nu, because the number 1, they say, is not a prime number. So they really start with the number nu, which is one of the secrets to counting prime numbers and understanding how to figure out all the conjectures concerning twin primes, cousin primes, sexy primes, octoprimes, any even number of primes spaced apart. Any even number of prime numbers spaced apart, we have a pattern for the production, the prediction, and the position of those primes using this mathematics, which means that we know how to factor primes, which means that we know how the banking system works, which means that we can develop our own cryptographic systems based on our own new mathematics, where we can defend the free world and the internet and online security, where we, our people, can become responsible for something on the planet Earth. So the rock that humanity has created is the inability to divide by 0, and then the ability to encrypt primes, but they cannot factor primes. So cannot factor. Humanity nor technology cannot factor primes. So you can't break your own encryption, and you can't divide by 0. So that becomes the rock that humanity has created, that humanity can't lift. But I'm here to tell you that the gods, your ancient Egyptian ancestors, the deities, they have managed to lift the rock and remove the boulder that's barring the spirit from seeing into other dimensions. Because although the spirit should be able to pass through the boulder, the spirit had been tricked, it was flesh. So now we must awaken into our own self and own being and own kind, self and like mind. We must work for, of, and by each other in order to accomplish this. A wise man once said, and his name is none other than Dr. Malachi York. A wise man once said, he said that you must offer people a do-it-yourself plan. That's what this is. This is a do-it-yourself plan. It's a do-it-yourself plan for all people. That's what this is. This is exactly that. A do-it-yourself plan for all people, individually. Do-it-yourself plan for all people, individually. To work together for a common goal, a common cause, a common mission, a purpose, he said. To do that and to work together to do that, even as individuals. Eventually, you will have so many connections that you will coagulate. It's like Optimus Prime for those who watch that. It's like Wonder Twin power. It's just it's all of our minds combined, just working together just to make something happen. Something good happen. Something good happen to the world, where people can wake up and start to realize and see for real and count for real and know what a measurement is for real and actually know what's really going on and not be deceived no more, not be lied to no more. Just have the whole truth and just be happy with the whole truth and just keep the world going on just like it is. Ain't nothing, you know, it's just make new math books and get this thing popping. That's it. Just start to change slowly. You once had a metric system. You once had a standard or international standard system, and it's been changed. You can count by what hexadecimal or sexagesimal,
That's
or you can count 10 base or 2 base or whatever base you want to count. So, you know, that this mathematics doesn't affect any base counting or anything. In fact, it enhances the knowledge of every base there is. It enhances the knowledge of what Fibonacci is, what those numbers mean. And they're not Fibonacci numbers. I kind of despise that word. It has become famous over the annals of time. But in ancient Egypt, we have the symbol of Egypt as a bee. And the bee's reproductive cycle as a mother bee, being Ma'at and the symbol of Egypt, and her being Ma'at, she produces in the pattern of Fibonacci. A female bee can have a male bee without another bee to fertilize it. I say it again, a female bee can give birth or produce a male bee without a counterpart, without a male. This is the symbol of Isis and the story of what you now call Fibonacci numbers. And now you know where that story comes from. You don't come from rabbits. They come from bees. Rabbits don't reproduce in that way. A bee can, though. A mother bee can. A goddess, deity bee can. She can. She can produce a male bee. And because she produces a male bee, the next bee that she produces, that male bee can fertilize as the father. And as the father of that new bee, that bee becomes a female bee. Because when that bee is fertilized, it becomes a female bee. And from there, the pattern continues. The one mother bee, then the one son bee, and then the one daughter bee, and then it goes 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, yeah, like this. And then we get these numbers here. You get this thing here. Yeah. Yes. So we get these things here. Let me show you. Here we go. So we get 1, as they say. I'm going to show you something. I want to be completely clear on something before I get started on this. I want to be clear that this has never, ever been disclosed or promulgated to the world. I want my aunt to come sit by me right now. She is very tired. But I want her to come sit by me right quick because what I'm about to present. Yeah, sit down. Yeah, okay, right here. So what I'm about to present, and it's always something special. When anytime the lights go out, I ain't gonna mention the times the lights went out at different events, but anytime the lights go out, it's something special gonna happen. I'm telling you, because it's something hidden being revealed to you. So what I want to present to you for the first time.
You want to turn it off again? Better?
Yeah, well, yeah. It's the compliance and the compatibility of new mathematics with everything you already know. I'm not just talking about just your regular mathematics. I'm talking about we're going to present a proof where you now understand the importance of your own mathematics. And then from there, with this proof, for the first time on the planet Earth and in the world, we'll allow you to examine the proof, let you see what this mathematics is, let you see something real, and not that you haven't seen anything real already with Nu and On. That's the substance of the universe. Trust me. Trust me. It's a door that's been opened that will not be shut. And it's a door here that's been closed that will not be closed. I promise you. This is something that's going to be around for all eternity, whether now or later. If this video go any further than me, I promise you that this is new mathematics. This is the way it is. This is not another form of mathematics. No, this is mathematics. This is not a new way of doing it, another way, a better way. No, this is the only way to do mathematics. This is the truthful way of doing mathematics. So I just wanted to make sure that we, as our people, were clear on what's being presented to you and what's being handed to you and what I'm asking for your help with, what we desperately need your help with. Because time is not on our side, as you might have heard in the old song. Time is not on our side in that way. So now that Mike done cleaned the board for us, we are about to get down to this business. We're going to show you the science of the B, called the mathematics of Fibonacci. We're going to show you for the first time an interaction, because we showed you new numbers, we showed you new number lines, we showed you new solutions to problems, we showed them new number lines, new numbers, new solutions to problems, new orders of operation. And now we are about to show you numbers in operation. That's what we're about to show you. These numbers in operation being used. How would new? What's new plus 7? What's new times 9? What's new divided by 1 billion? What's new times infinity? What's new divided by infinity? Is infinity real? Is infinity a number? Or is infinity just a concept just like 0? Is there a problem dividing 10 by 3 and I get 3.33333? And then, because you can take your calculator, take your own time, get a calculator, put in 10. 10. Divide that by 3. Equals 3.3333. And they'll say on into infinity. Okay, so we with it. Now, if I multiply this times this, using our reverse formula, nothing slick, I get 3.333 times 3, and that's called 10. But something with me just don't sit well, because I know that 3 times 3 is 9. So 3 times 3.333 must be 9.99999. But nope, your calculator very well may round up and say 10. So this is an issue with mathematics, with money, with counting, with everything. The fact that it's not known and that this is undetermined becomes a problem in mathematics. Okay? So it becomes a problem in mathematics. Okay, I got it. Okay. Okay, so we're about to get down to business. Y'all ready? This is the first time you'll ever see this. This is the first time you've ever seen this. Get in the camera. Come on, honey. I want you to be there. So we do this. All you eating. Okay. All praise is due to the Most High.
All praise is due to the Most High.
New plus 0 will give us new. So we just said new plus 0 will give us new. So let's just go down the line then. 0 plus -1 give us -1. -1 plus -2 will give us a -2. -2 plus -3 will give us a -5. -3 plus -4 will give us a -7. Now this right here explains something about the Riemann zeta function that says, a conjecture that says all of the even numbers are zeroed or are equivalent to 0, which is none other than saying they equivalent to an odd number, 0 n number, they equivalent to an odd number, or as we say, on, because that's not on, I'm sorry, that's 0 n, and this is on. So don't get confused if I do that. This is 0 n, equivalent to this number un. On, once undefined, is on. So this could be 0, 1, this could be 0, 2, this could be 0, 3, and this number would be pronounced 0, 4, and this number would be pronounced 4, on, 3, on, 2, on, 1, on. And so that's how those numbers would work, and that would be equal to that. So that's what you would be looking at. So these will be all on numbers, and these will be all particles, if you will. Okay, so make sure everything is still in the camera straight. As long as the camera got everything, yeah. Okay, so now, so you see that, let's go down this way now. So 0 plus 1 is what? +1. 1 plus 2 is +3. 2 plus 3 is +5. And 3 plus 4 is +7. So we can live with that. And so far, and we've created a sequence of numbers, a pattern of numbers, and it's all odd numbers. 7, 5, 3, 1, new, 1, 3, 5, 7. And we now proving that between odd numbers is this polarity called new. Because otherwise, you would have a 0 and you would not be able to do this. So now, I'm going to take it a step further. We said new plus 0 equals new. Then what's 0 plus new? 0 plus new must be new. So then that's new and new. So what's new plus new? New plus new is 2. But this is a 2 that's never, this is a number 2 that's never ever been seen before. This is not your number 2. This is number 2 on a gravitational level. This is the real, if you will, number 2. This is not the number 2 that you know of. The number 2 you know of is merely a reflection, is merely a polarity, is merely a binary, a dipolar counterpart to the reality of what numbers truly are. So for the first time in the history of the world, as you know it, you have been introduced to new, new again, a new number 2. So what's new plus 2? New. 3. New. And what's 2 new plus 3 new? 5 new. And what's 3 new plus 5 new? 8 new. And what's 5 new plus 8 new? 13 new. And we go on down the line. And this, my family, this, our people, is the Fibonacci sequence. This is 5 numbers. This is the pattern for 5. So we deserve credit, we deserve recognition for our works towards the advancement of humanity and technology in the fields of mathematics. Not only mathematics, but indigenous aesthetic mathematics and linguistics, and STEM, space, time, energy, and matter, and STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and physics, mechanics, computing, and processing, and introducing new TETRAHEDRAL. And so if we were to go down the line on either side, I'll leave that to you. -1 plus -1 is -2. 1 plus 1 is 2. we can see what's going to happen here. We can see our pattern already. So this is what we wanted to present to the world. And this is what we need your help with and your assistance with and your funding for the founding of new mathematics. I thank you for your time and for your listening ears. I vibe that your heart and your tongue and your mind be one, and that they speak to you and they tell you to support your brother and your sister here, or as we call ourselves at the beginning of the show, the mother and father of indigenous aesthetic mathematics and linguistics. Thank you.
Thank you, y'all. And if you would like to donate to paypal.me/IAML, all caps, 361. Again, that's paypal.me/IML, in caps, 361. Thank you, y'all. Good night.
Peace.
Peace. Thanks for watching.